Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. A couple games to go through. First, we got to talk about Memphis OKC. The bottom line is that Memphis has two big men who are extremely talented and who can cause a lot of problems for the teams they play, and there really is no answer. The Grizzlies will do a variety of things to get Randolph open in the post. Here they'll do a cross screen along the baseline, get good position, and Ibaka has no choice but to give him a little bit of room so he doesn't get beat. They'll also run action away from Zach Randolph, kind of goading Ibaka to move over a little bit so that Zebo gets better position down low. On that right side, he rises up and they can't stop it. While Randolph doesn't look like a good athlete, he is surprisingly quick, and as Ibaka ends up out of bounds, no one is here to pick him up in the open court and he can still finish. Watch Perkins here. He helps unnecessarily, and as a result, Gasol can step right in and get way too deep position, and that shot is way too easy. They want to spread the floor for Perkins and make him cover ground. So when Perkins has to cover the point guard and then Gasol will pick and pop, there's no way he can get over there in time, and that's a very easy shot. Zebo is so awkward to some degree, and he keeps you so off balance on the post. You have to double him because nobody on the Thunder can handle him down there when he drops those rainbows in. On the pick and rolls, you have to be on the same page with your defensive rotations. Here you'll see two of the big guys on Memphis go to the ball, leaving Gasol wide open on the baseline to say, "Thank you for the layup, thank you very much." Or actually, it's "muchas gracias." The Thunder are so concerned about Zebo dribbling the ball at the basket and getting his body into the defender, they have to lay off a little bit, and as a result, he's getting that shot off every time. This won't happen again, but Zebo got so hot and they let him score so many times that even the three ball started dropping for him. Let's look at what I call the Gasol effect. When you look at his stats, he had 20 points, 4 assists, 3 offensive rebounds for 4 points and putbacks, 2 blocks with 2 stops, and a steal. An even greater effect is the Zebo effect. 33 points, 2 assists, 4 offensive rebounds for 4 points, put back in, and a steal. The total net effect of these two players, when you add up the points and multiply out the assists and all that stuff, is 81 points. It's phenomenal for two players, especially two that play big. So like I said before, if the Grizzlies can do what they did against the Spurs, who can't they do it to? I don't see any team that can match up that well. The Lakers are the one team that can do it, but geez, if they continue to play this way, there is no answer. And to give you a comparison between that net point effect of Gasol plus Zebo, I just took a random game when the Lakers played well and Kobe and Powell, and I combined their total net points and their net effect, and it was only 64 points. So imagine that. These two players down low are doing so much damage in the point differential that they cannot be beaten so far. Well, next up, let's talk about the Heat and the Celtics. I gotta tell you, there are a lot of problems with the Celtics, and the Heat did some things well. There isn't any other way to say it, but look at Bosch's play. It's scared. He doesn't want any part of the Kevin Garnett defense. He continually tried to take fadeaway shots instead of fakes and getting to the basket and punishing Garnett. Pierce gets called for a ticky-tacky screen out of bounds. Watch his left foot. That's really close though. Probably shouldn't have been called an out-of-bounds screen. Here it looks like Paul Pierce hasn't played basketball for a week as he dribbles the ball off of his foot. What's worse is that Rondo has to foul, his second, and he comes out of the game. And here's a worse turnover. Again, just a simple dribbling mishap, and this leads to a dunk, and now the crowd is into it, and Miami's taken over the game. At this point, Paul Pierce is very frustrated, having gone 1 for 4, and he just barrels over James Jones for an offensive foul and a turnover. Paul Pierce was out of it for the whole first half. He just seemed to be distracted. He doesn't get a call here, so on the way back down, he's angry, he's not focused, and when Mike Miller fakes him out of his shoes, everyone has to slide over to cover for him. Guess what? James Jones wide open for a 3. Let's go back and look at why Jeff Green is so bad, though. On the weak side, he has no idea where his man is, just slides around out there, and James Jones gets wide open for that reason as well. Let's talk about Ray Allen's defense on Jones. At this point, he's already hit 2, and he just completely ignores him on the weak side and lets him get open again. Here, the Heat have a funky lineup, and the Celtics are forced to have Garnett on James Jones. And it's not going to work. Doc's going to have to fix this because Garnett's not going to get around those screens they set, and Jones will be open quite a bit for that 3. And what you're all waiting for, here's that foul. He grabs him, should be a flagrant, but they give him a T for it, and then they give Paul Pierce a T, rightfully so. So now Paul Pierce is all riled up. And I think he's not completely focused again, because on the weak side, you're going to see Joel Anthony back screen him hard. He's not ready for it at all or in a defensive position. And there's the dunk by LeBron. So now Pierce is really mad and frustrated. Look how he throws the ball inbounds. And here's the last play where Pierce screens nicely on Wade. No one's bothered by that. And then Wade lowers his shoulder. Should have been a T or a flagrant, either one. And then as soon as Paul Pierce says something, no matter what it is, it's in the referee's face. He was so riled up, he had no composure left. Normally this happens to the teams playing the Celtics, but this time he lost it. So there you have it. It's pretty clear to me the Celtics played really badly. Now, you had Dwyane Wade out of his mind, and I don't think he's going to make some of those shots in the next several games in this series. I just don't think he's going to make them. They're really difficult. And you got Kevin Garnett playing horribly. You got Paul Pierce out of his mind. Rajon Rondo had foul trouble and never played well, had 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. Those are things that probably will not happen the rest of the series. And that said, they were kind of right there, sort of, ready to make a run. Bosh is playing like a little sissy, so he's not there, and I don't know if he's going to change, and this is the biggest stage he's ever been on. So if I were a Boston fan, I wouldn't be too concerned just yet. We'll have to see what happens in Game 2. I will say this, if James Jones makes more than 3 3-pointers in a game with only 1 miss, I will do my next breakdown naked. That's right, I will do it naked. You heard it here first, folks. Quick note about the Dallas Lakers. I went through a couple Dallas games and I couldn't find them playing zone against Portland. So I don't know why people are talking about the zone being really important, but I can't quite see any evidence of it. And the Lakers are great at pinning down the weak side forward with Gasol or Bynum and hitting them down there and getting great shots. So I don't think that the zone is going to be a great idea for the Mavericks. And we had the Bulls versus the Hawks. Josh Smith is the only wild card in my mind because you never know what you're going to get with him. However, without Kirk Hinrich, the Atlanta Hawks are missing that guy that gets them into their offense and gets them settled. And the reason why I think Kirk Hinrich is the best fit for the Hawks is that he keeps Jamal Crawford on the bench as long as he can. See, there's the Jamal Crawford fans. They're not as angry as the Kobe fans. They're not as loud, but they're there. But the longer Jamal Crawford stays on the bench, for me, the better the Hawks have, the better chance they have at winning. Well, thanks for joining us. Let me know what you think about my comments and the breakdowns. Stay tuned for lots more. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, it's not a channel, it's a conversation.